Hey there. I want to talk about something many of us have experienced but rarely discuss. What it feels like for someone to realize they've lost you. You've probably heard the saying, you don't know what you have until it's gone. It hits differently when it's about relationships. This isn't just about regret. It's about reflection, memories, and a sudden sense of clarity. Let me share a story with you. A friend of mine went through a tough breakup. At first, his ex seemed fine, even distant, but months later, she started reaching out, random texts, casual comments like, "I saw something today that reminded me of you." My friend was confused. "Why now?" he asked. "What's changed?" This led me to think deeply about why absence can spark such emotional gravity. So, what happens when someone realizes they've lost you? Let's explore this step by step. 1. Attempts to reconnect. One of the first signs that someone might want to reconnect is through subtle efforts that don't scream for attention but are far from random. These attempts are often cloaked in casual gestures, like following you on social media again, liking an old photo, or sending a seemingly innocuous message, such as, "How have you been?" While it may appear casual on the surface, these actions are often intentional, designed to test the waters without risking outright rejection. Take Lisa, a former colleague of mine, as an example. After months of silence, she decided to reconnect with her ex. She explained, "I didn't want to seem desperate, so I just liked one of his Instagram posts and hoped he'd notice." This is a perfect example of what I like to call breadcrumb signals, small, subtle gestures that essentially say, "I'm thinking about you," but without putting themselves in a vulnerable position. These breadcrumbs can take many forms: a sudden surge in engagement with your social media posts, a random text that feels more calculated than casual, or even showing up in spaces you frequent. What ties these actions together is their underlying motive. They often stem from a desire to reconnect, but they also carry a layer of hesitation, an internal debate over whether or not to take the plunge and risk being misunderstood or ignored. If you start to notice these signs, it's important not to jump to conclusions. While they might indicate genuine interest in rebuilding a connection, they could just as easily stem from nostalgia or a need for closure. People often reach out in subtle ways because they're unsure of what they want or how you feel. It's an emotional testing ground, a way of gauging whether the door is still open. Before responding, consider the context. Ask yourself, does this feel genuine? Or is it just a fleeting moment of curiosity on their part? If you sense sincerity and are open to reconnecting, keep your response measured and authentic. Avoid reading too deeply into every action, as not all breadcrumbs lead somewhere meaningful. On the other hand, if you suspect the effort is more about them seeking validation or closure, approach the situation with empathy, but set clear boundaries if necessary. Ultimately, these subtle attempts to reconnect are often a reflection of the sender's internal state, equal parts hope, fear, and uncertainty. By recognizing these signals for what they are and responding thoughtfully, you can navigate these situations with clarity and mutual respect, ensuring no one walks away feeling misled or hurt. 2. Testing the waters. When they finally decide to reach out more directly, their approach is rarely filled with raw emotion. Instead of openly admitting, "I miss you," they might opt for something neutral and non-confrontational, like, "How's work going?" This kind of cautious outreach stems from an innate fear of rejection, a protective mechanism to gauge your response without risking vulnerability. In Dale Carnegie's classic How to Win Friends and Influence People, he emphasizes how people are naturally hesitant to take emotional risks. This principle applies here. By keeping their messages safe and subtle, they're testing the waters, hoping for some indication that you're open to reconnecting. These initial gestures often reflect their internal conflict. They may want to reconnect but feel unsure about how you'll react. The balance between curiosity, regret, and hope drives their approach. In essence, they're extending a tentative olive branch, unsure if it will be accepted. This is where your self-awareness comes into play. Ask yourself, are you truly open to reconnecting? If the answer is yes, respond in a way that keeps the conversation light and genuine, allowing the connection to naturally evolve. However, if the answer is no, it's essential to communicate your boundaries clearly yet respectfully. Be firm but kind, ensuring you don't unintentionally provide false hope that could prolong their emotional turmoil. These seemingly small interactions often act as gateways to deeper conversations, provided the timing and intentions align. While they might start with cautious, surface-level inquiries, they're often seeking a signal, any indication that you're willing to meet them halfway. Recognizing their subtle overtures and responding authentically ensures that, whatever the outcome, you both approach the situation with clarity and mutual respect. 3. Absence creates reflection. Here's the truth. Absence forces clarity. When you step away from something, a job, a friendship, or even a favorite hobby, you gain perspective. The same happens in relationships. At first, she might believe you'll come back, but as time passes and you've clearly moved on, ignoring texts or not engaging, that's when fear sets in. She starts wondering, did I take him for granted? Psychologists call this loss aversion, the fear of losing something valuable. If you've been focusing on personal growth during this time, keep going. Your progress isn't just about her, it's about you. But this growth might also create an unexpected opportunity to reconnect, if that's what you want. 4. When reconnection feels genuine. Sometimes, reconnection happens for the right reasons. Maybe the breakup stemmed from a misunderstanding or external pressures. Take this example. A couple I know broke up because of conflicting schedules and stress, not a lack of love. Months later, they ran into each other at a mutual friend's party. After an honest conversation, they realized breaking up was a mistake. Today, they're married with 2 kids. Ask yourself, what caused the breakup? If it was something superficial, a second chance might work. But if it was deeper, like dishonesty or incompatibility, it's wiser to let go. Remember, not all reconnections lead to reconciliation. 5. Understanding her emotions. So, what is she feeling? Likely regret, perhaps for not appreciating what she had. Nostalgia for the good times. Guilt for her role in the breakup. As Mark Manson explains in The Subtle Art of Not Giving a People often seek closure to feel better about their own choices. It's crucial to recognize whether her actions are about self-healing or genuinely reconnecting. Stay self-aware. Understand her emotions, but don't let them dictate your actions. Your growth and happiness should remain your priority. 6. The final decision is yours. Now, imagine this. She sends you a message. Something simple, yet deep, like, I've been thinking about you. At that moment, you're at a crossroads. The decision isn't about her feelings, it's about your future. Do you revisit the past or embrace the unknown? Think of a bridge. It connects 2 sides, but crossing it means leaving one behind. Consider what lies ahead. Your values, goals, and self-worth matter most. Failed relationships often crumble because their foundation wasn't solid. Going back doesn't guarantee a fix. It might just repeat the cycle. When she reaches out, pause. Reflect on your journey and progress. Is it worth the risk for familiarity? Or is it time to trust in your strength to move forward? At the end of the day, losing someone teaches us about ourselves. Whether it's her reflecting on what she lost or you realizing what you deserve, growth is the ultimate goal. Remember, the best connections happen when two whole individuals come together, not when one is chasing the other. Thank you for watching. If this resonated with you, share your thoughts. I'd love to hear your story.